Give me a second. I'm just gonna drop a link in the class group. All right. So let's start then. Now on the page here, I had I had asked that we go to page 68, right? And on that page, first one, number 4 on that page. Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the question says that we have 4 chocolate. Read it for me.
Wait, sir. Sir, it says that we are supposed to divide 6.
Not that one. Page 68.
In the prime success?
No, man. In the ability.
Sir, I don't have that book.
All right. Well, listen to the question then. It says 4 chocolate bars and 3 sweeties cost $450. So is, if you're looking on the screen, you'll see what where it is that I'm moving the mouse now. It says 4 chocolate bars, and I write the C for the chocolate bars. You see that?
Yes, sir.
So 4C plus, and it says 3 sweeties. So I write 3S, and the S would stand for the sweeties. See that? So
Yes,
here I have this, the C, and that would mean what?
chocolate bars.
Good. And the S would stand for what?
Sweeties.
All right. So all of those things must come up to how much money?
$450.
450. So what we said, what they told us afterward, it says 1 chocolate bar costs $90. So what I did, so if I have 1 bar costing $90 and I have 4 of them, what do I need to do to find out how much? Good. So 4 times 90 would give me a total of what?
360.
Good. So see here now, 360 plus whatever money we're gonna pay for the 3 sweeties. All of that should add up to $450. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So now, if I want to find out what the 3 sweeties cost, I need to get rid of this 360 here. So I'm going to take it from the left-hand side of the equation. So everything over this side would be the left-hand side of the equation, and everything on the other side of the equal sign, this would be the right-hand side of the equation. Cool?
Yes, sir.
So if I take it away from the left-hand side, to balance what I'm doing, I also need to take it away from the right-hand side. Good?
Yes,
and then I will be left with 3S over here. So my statement now would read 3 sweeties. The cost of 3 sweeties will be equal to 450 minus 360. And so we put it one side here and we can do it. So we say 0 from 0, that can't work. 6 from 5 can't work. So I will borrow from the 4. When I take it away, I'll have what left?
3.
3. Good. And that 1 will turn this 5 into what now?
15.
15. And I say 6 from 15 will leave me with what?
9.
9. So that's how we got here to say that 3 sweeties would actually cost what? Would cost $90. But I don't want to find out what's the cost of 3 sweeties. I want to find out what's the cost of 1. So what do I do now? I would divide this side by 3. And remember, just like with this, if we do one operation to the left-hand side, we also need to do it to the right-hand side. So if I divide by 3, this 3 will cancel this 3. and I will be left with just the sweeties there, but I also need to divide the other side by 3. So 3 into itself one time, and then 3 into 90 would go 30 times, because 3 into 3, 9, 3 into 0, 0. So I get 30. So the cost of one sweetie would be equal to what? $30. Got that?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us see if this makes sense. One of the things that we could do to check our answer, we could plug in the information we know. We already know that
Chocolate.
the 4C here would be what? 300 and what? 360.
60.
And then the chocolate would be 3 times the what? 3 times the
Sweet.
30, giving us
Yeah.
what? 90. So that should be that 360 plus the 90. What should we add this up and get? Because
450.
very good, because all of this is on the what? Left hand side. And if the equation is going to be balanced, the left hand side must be equal to the right hand side. So I must get 450 over here and 450 over here. It's like a seesaw. In order for the seesaw to be balanced, if I put
One
one
person
person on
must
this
drop
side
down.
and one person on this side, and this one weighs 200 and this one weighs 200, as long as it's in the middle, both of them, and they are sitting equal distances apart, both of them, it should be balanced, right? So
Yes.
now we would say 0 plus 0 is
0.
good, and 9 and 6 is what?
15.
So write what?
5 and carry the 1.
And carry 1, and then 3 and 1 would make what?
4.
4. So you see, we get back this side of the equation. So that means that we are what? Correct. So our answer would be what?
30.
For one sweetie, it would be
30.
30. 30 what? Yam, banana, pumpkin, or carrot?
Sweetie.
No, sir. 30 sweetie. How would you speak
What?
now? Tell me, sir.
$30.
$30. Good. So we have to, when we're working it out, we need to remember our units. All right.
Yes.
Any questions on that?
No, sir.
All right. So we can do one more. I will say let us do number 3 here. All right. Listen to this one now. This will be the last one we're doing. All right. It says hardcover books are being sold at the following cost. Now let's go with the cost now. So what are we selling? What are they selling? Some hardcover books. All right, cool. So you need pen and paper now. Let's go. Half dozen is being sold for $1,440. How many?
Half dozen.
Half dozen. What is half dozen again?
6.
Oh, very good. Half dozen. That would be 6. All right. So it goes on now, and it says quarter dozen. A quarter dozen. What's a quarter dozen?
4.
No, sir. Look again. Dozen is 12. Divide it by 4. What you get? Hmm?
3.
All right, cool. So the next one is quarter dozen is being sold for $606. So the next term we want is 660, and it says 2 are being sold for 420, and one book is being sold for 250. Now they want us to say which one will give us a better deal. All right.
Yes.
So let's think about that for a while. What operation would we need to do in order to solve that? If
Say
it is,
division.
if it, all right, so we have to do some division. What are we going to try to find out? We're going to try to find out what?
Which book would cost better or whatever.
Okay, so we need to find out the situation where we are paying the lowest amount for the books, right? So let me read the question. Hardcover books are being sold at the following costs: half dozen for 1,440, quarter dozen for 660. Two are being sold for 440, and one is being sold for 250. All right, so let me put these now. So we'd have to divide. We divide this half dozen, divide that by 6, quarter dozen, divide this by 3. Two being sold for 420, and one is being sold for 250.
250.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's do a little division here and see if we can get closer to our answer. Let me change this point to probably a fine point and change my color to purple. Now 6, we're going to say 1,440, and if we divide this by 6, then we should get what one book will cost. All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's say 6 into itself would go one time, but 6 into 14 would go how many times? 616, 6 twos.
12.
Good. So it goes in there 2 times with 2 remainder. So this goes 2 times remainder 2. And then now 6 into 24 would go how many times?
4 times.
Okay, 6 4 is 24. 6 into 0, 0. So this first vendor, if we were to call this vendor A, one of the book would cost $240. Right?
Yes, sir.
It would cost $240. So if this costs $240, let's now find out what this, if we're going to call this person vendor B, let's see what vendor B would cost. So we'll just do division again. So 3 into itself one time, 3 into 6 would go 2 times, 3 into 6 again 2 times, 3 into 0, 0.
0 times.
So this vendor B's unit cost for one of the book, it would be $220. Let's go over now and call this one vendor C, and we say 2 into itself one time, 2 into 4 would go
2 times.
2 times, very good, and 2 into 2
1.
1, 2 into 0 0. All right, so this one, if we call that one vendor C, the cost per book is $210. And we know that any number divided by 1 remains the same. So if this is vendor D, that means that this would be 200 and what? 50. Hold on. Let me see if I can. The Marquis, are you hearing me? Not certain. The Marquis, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
You have to, okay, good. You have taken the picture off. So where we are now, we are trying to find out which vendor or which option gives us the best cost. So it said that $1,440 could get us 6 hardcover books. $660 could have gotten us 3. $420 could have gotten us 2, and $250 1. So where would I want to spend my money? Would I want to spend my money at the person who is selling me one of the books for $250?
Yes, sir.
Say again? I wouldn't
Yes,
want.
sir.
No, man, I wouldn't want to spend it there. So when I can get it for $220 less, I would save myself $30 buying it over there. But
Okay.
even so, even if I buy it from A, I would still be paying less, right?
Yes, sir.
Because that would be $10 less. But the place that I would want to spend my money would be here at C, because at C I'm going to pay the smallest amount per book, which is what? $210 for one book.
So which is
Understood?
$40 less.
Say again.
It is $40 less.
Good. So I'm saving $40 here. Out of all of these, I'd be saving $40. So let me just go over the question one last time so that we can get an understanding of it again. The marquis came in a little late. So it says hardcover books are being sold at the following cost: half a dozen at 1,440, quarter dozen, which is 3, being sold for $660, and 2 being sold for 420, 1 being sold for 250. And it says, which would you buy? And it says you must explain your reasoning. Now remember how this pep thing work. No, it's not like just writing down the answer and just say, oh, you would buy the one at C. Why would you buy the one at C? So somebody needs to tell me. Remember when we were in class and we did this, we said C square E J S squared. We need to compare and contrast, explain,
Then
justify.
Justify.
What does the S stand for again? Summarize, and
Solve.
be able to show details.
Work.
Oh,
So now you're being asked what? Explain. That's what it says. Explain. So you need to give some reasons as to why you would buy at C instead of buying at all of them. Somebody give me an answer now. So you get 2 or 3 lines.
You're paying $40 less
Okay. Say that again. Let me hear.
because you're paying $40 less.
Okay. So you could save a maximum of $40 if you bought at C versus D. You could have a maximum saving of $40. All right. So that would be a way of explaining it. All right. Any questions on that?
no, sir.
All right. So let me just say this. In order to answer this question properly, we were looking for the unit cost. You have to find unit cost, and the unit cost is how much for one item. In this case, we're talking about one
Hardcover.
book. All right, one hardcover notebook. All right. Any other question? We're on page 68. We're on page 68. Let's look at the last one. Let's look at the last one here. Hold on. Let's go. New page. It says during the time that Tommy eats 2 bowls of ice cream, Robert eats 3 bowls. The 2 boys ate 10 bowls of ice cream in 1 hour. How many bowls did Tommy eat? So, all right. So I'm gonna say we have 2 boys. What are the 2 boys' name again?
Tommy and something else.
So we have Tommy and we have Robert. Right? Hold on, let me make this little neater. All right, so we have Tommy and Robert. All right, let's look a little better. And it says what other information we have. So this one had 2 bowls of ice cream. 2 bowls of ice cream. And the other one, 2 bowls of ice cream. Robert eats 3 bowls. Okay, so Robert has 3. And in the time that they were eating, they had 10 bowls of ice cream in all. So we want to know now, right? We want to know now, if they had 10 bowls, how many bowls of ice cream? Between both of them, they had 10 bowls. How many bowls of ice cream did Tommy end up eating in that time, and Robert would have had in that time? So every time that Tommy eats 2, Robert eats 3. Now, what type of question is this question? Any idea on that?
No, sir.
All right, so this is a ratio type question. We want to look at different quantities and how they are shared between them. So what we would do, we call this a term, and we call this a term. All right. So we're going to add these two terms. When we add these two, 3 and 2, we would get what? 5.
5.
And then this 10, which is the total, we're going to divide the total by 5, and we would get what?
2.
Very good. So you would get 2. So it means, therefore, that this is the share that they would get, and you're going to multiply that by what they have stated here. So if it is that Tommy has 2, we're going to multiply the 2 by 2 to say that he would have gotten 4 bowls of ice cream over that period of time. And then 2 times this 3 would mean that he would have
6.
gotten what? 6 bowls. And in all, both of them should add up to what?
10.
To 10. So do we see how that ratio could be shared? So
Yes,
here
sir.
we have a situation where it says every time that Tommy eats 2 bowls of ice cream, Robert eats 3. If they eat 10 bowls in all, how many bowls would he have gotten? Robert versus Tommy. So Tommy would have gotten 4, and Robert would have gotten 6, and the 6 and the 4 would give you what? 10. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Clear on that?
Yes,
All right,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
So that is where we will leave it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining. We had some mic trouble before, not certain why it wasn't working, but that's it. All right. So take
Yes, sir.
care. Those of you who have the book, please make sure you look at the page 68 and continue working so we can discuss this in class tomorrow. All right.
Okay, sir.
All right. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.